Okay. Yeah, now we're so I'll start back over again. This is my name is Hey man, go ahead, just do the intro again. Push the intro. Push the intro again. What's going on, world? That's your boy at Big Game James _36, and this is Big Games B.S. Presented by the good folks at MFTK Foundation. We're gonna do our thing. This weekend, headed to the NOLA. We're bringing two teams, Domo National, as well as Team MFTK playing in the Battle New Orleans tournament. Anybody want to donate to the cause? Go to mftkfoundation.com or hit me up. We got money sign MFTK36. We've got other ways that you can donate to the cause. Please make sure, again, let these young men have a great experience. It's not cheap feeding. Really, the biggest thing is feeding these motherfuckers. Like, the cheapest thing is getting them there. Have you ever seen, I have 36, 18, between 15 to 18-year-olds eat. It ain't pretty, man. Like, you can take them to a buffet, but the only thing they do is, I will say this, they all eat chicken tenders and french fries. And I don't know why I don't know if I was like that, but I know you can get that going. What y'all mad at today, man? That'd be the question, because it seems like there's got to be something manufactured in sports world, real life, reality. I'm mad that Florida State has lost every sport that matters to me. Well, actually, none. Actually, to be honest with you, it's only one sport that matters. But the Gators whooped up on us pretty good in baseball yesterday. I still fucks with Link, but I'm sure we'll get into that with our FSU segment. I'm coming here, so if you got to tell a friend to tell a friend. What I'm mad at is the YouTube algorithm. Even though it's starting to come on the other side of it, everything is starting to like get more views and it's starting to get more buzz. But I need y'all to go in, make sure you push the like button. Make sure you go tell a friend to tell a friend. Some of you guys may have to go redo your alerts that the show is coming on, because I don't even know who Google owns YouTube, right? Yeah, I forgot who owns it, but I don't know. I can blame Elon for Monday. Straight up, it's Elon's fault for fucking Monday. But like, outside of that, Chip put, they still mad at Braun. You have absolutely no fucking idea how, like, it's we may end up making it a segment. I don't know, man. I'm actually tired of talking about it. I'm tired of talking to black male fathers about why they're wrong for getting on a man for doing what's right for his son. But then I'm also tired of arguing basketball with basketball fans that have no idea what they're talking about. Because as a non-basketball fan, the only thing I want to do is go do the research. And the research proves that a lot of these motherfuckers don't know what they're talking about. Like, that's probably, yeah. Actually, now that I think about that, yeah. It reminds me of, anybody watch King of the Hill? You gotta, some old, I might make this part of your internship package. We gotta get you some old shit. Like, it's a great cartoon, by the way. Bobby Hill is one of the greatest cartoon inventions of all time. That motherfucker just be spitting bars. But it was a person, I think it was not Brad Pitt. Matthew McConaughey had a recurring character, and he was like, "I'm from the OKC," and he tried to make it sound like it was so cool. And I'm like, "What the fuck is the OKC?" And it's like Oklahoma City. That's where he was from. And Oklahoma City wasn't like, they weren't even popping like that when they had three guys who were like legit. They had Russ, KD, and the Beard, and they couldn't even keep it popping. And Cleveland ain't been popping since Bron left, and that just goes to, like, again, I saw somebody put Michael Jordan's the GOAT, LeBron's the boat. I think we should flip that. LeBron's the only person who's, like, just ever since the decision, who has dominated sports media the way he has. So, yeah, Bert's mad. Bert, we gotta take a trip, dog. Where we going, Bert? DR or Colombia? My man Bert said he's mad that he's not in a foreign country. And I know my dog Bird is a world traveler, a man of many talents, many mysteries. But we gotta chop it up too. You know, we don't all the way. Also, by the way, we're gonna make the announcement on Monday, but you guys are gonna hear about it now. We are officially doing the 6th annual Big Game Gives Back weekend. We're gonna do that July, the 3rd week in July, the 4th weekend in July, and the 1st weekend in August. We may add another one to the schedule, but right now I know it would literally be on my birthday in Tallahassee, Florida. I got to do something. Something wild. But every time I try to celebrate my birthday, I almost die. So I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I don't want to die. Like the one year I got COVID on my fucking birthday, and that's when I went to the hospital. It sucks, by the way. It's not how you want to spend your birthday. But we'll talk to that again. Donations, please. It's gonna happen whether you donate or not, but your donations will make it bigger. We can make it bigger. My goal is to get about 6,000. Is it 6,000 bags this year? I want to get. Yeah, we did 5,000 bags last year, so we're gonna go for 6,000 bags this year. And families fed. So, my camera out? Oh, it's maybe Jaden's. But anyways, though, so that's just some brief announcements right there. Other than that, we'll kick it off with Jaden. What we got?
All right, y'all. So, good morning, March 12th, Wednesday, here at Big Games B.S. We cover the good, the bad, all the BS in sports. First off, starting college, got some FSU tributes to talk about. Leonard Hamilton had his last game in the ACC tournament versus Syracuse as the FSU head coach. Got a little recap video on that as well. Then West Virginia football coach bans TikTok dancing for his players. Funny article about that. And then we got some more ACC tournament clips to show you right then. And then we got some college player. Then we got a college player whose dad was in the NFL. And we just got to feel old yet segment with that as well. Then we have the top 10 most watched college football teams. We got an infographic per CFB alerts. And then we have the worst Hayes Fawcett graphic known to man. Got to talk about that. Yeah, he's getting brute with it. No pun intended. We'll see.
I can't wait. All right, now I didn't know he made that one. I can't wait for that one.
Yeah, he made that one, and it was a little bit brute. And if you know, you know. We'll get into that. And then the NFL, James, I think your former teammate Leon Washington, running backs coach. We're gonna talk about that. Mario Edwards Jr. got paid. We're gonna talk about that. And then we're gonna have to highlight all of the NFL free agency moves that have been occurring these past couple of days. And then we're gonna go to our Big Games BS segment. A lot of people are mad about Southwest, about their getting rid of their free check bags. Then we're going to have to touch on Stephen A's rebuttal to the LeBron situation. He was on the Gills Arena podcast. And then we're going to have to send our condolences to Junior Bridgman, one of the pioneers in the financial space, entrepreneurial space, in the business space, in the NBA. Tyrese Halliburton's game winner last night, 10-10. And then Anthony Mackie was on the pivot.
I've been back in Charlotte for the past year, ever since I was let go by the Jets. So kind of found my way down here, and then got linked up with my boy Jericho Carter. He the head coach at Limestone. It's like a little small D2 school in Gaffney, South Carolina. So happy to be out here coaching, man. So I can't complain.
I didn't know Jericho was coaching there. I remember NC State, right?
Yeah, NC State. Yeah, you remember them big games we had against NC State?
Oh man, it was some crazy games against NC State. Yeah. Especially that double overtime. Oh,
double overtime game. Yeah.
Speaking of which,
talk about it all the time. Yeah.
Speaking of which, I met the guy the linebacker I blasted for that touchdown.
Yeah.
Oh,
Who was that? Was it Oliver Hoyt?
Man, I met him at the Super Bowl this year. He was at the Taste. He has a coffee company.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Steven Tullett.
Yeah, Steven. Because we were sitting over there. I hadn't, I'm a coffee addict, man. So I was sitting there. I was fading. I ain't had no coffee the whole week. And then I saw he had the little nitro cold brews. I said, man, give me that. And then he came over, and I was like, shut up. I said, you play what? NC State? I said, oh yeah. I said, I made a name off of NC State. And then we was just going back and forth, and we was just joking. And I was just like, I said, yeah, man, I had broke my hand the first play of the game, and had to play the whole game with a broke hand.
Right.
Yeah,
that's good. He's a great dude. He's a good friend of mine too.
Yeah, good dude, man. I'm gonna follow up with him because I like. Actually, shoot, I did that. It's actually good.
He got a good business. Yeah, he been running that for about 10 years now.
Did not
he started in Miami. Yeah, so good deal, man. Good deal. But yeah, coaching college football it's exciting. A little bit different responsibility, but I'm enjoying it. It's exciting. You get to impact these kids, much better than dealing with pro players. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Well, man, like I said, man, I hadn't talked to you in a minute. I got to get you on my pod. I do. I got this pod. Me and Book did one this time last year. That thing did numbers. Now I hadn't talked to Book in a minute, so it was just great. We was just it's called Dope Boys, where we just catch up. We just talk about. We just talk. It's basically a conversation that other people get to listen in on and hear stories that they didn't know or stories they might have heard and just get the background behind it. But I just wanted to reach out and tell you, man, congratulations. I know you're a good ass coach, a good ass person too. So I wanted to make sure I told you that, man.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I would love to help you out, man. Let's definitely get on it. Try to get some dates here. I'm more free on the weekends. Obviously in college, but like in the afternoons or the evenings, we could probably do something. So
yeah, it'd probably be like in the evening, but I'll send you some dates. I got to travel. I'm doing I got a 7-on-7 team that I sponsor, and we're gonna be in New Orleans, Battle New Orleans. We were supposed to get OT7, but some things happened, but it's all good. But I'm gonna be with my foundation. I do my book bag drive with. I started that this year to do more mentoring, because just letting them learn how to be a professional in branding. So
right. The kids they need help with that. I like that New Orleans 7-on-7. That's nice though. I went there with Leon when he was younger.
Yeah. It's gonna be it's a big tournament, man. So it's gonna I like New Orleans. Well, I mean, every time I went to New Orleans, last couple of times I've been okay. Like when
right. We had the Super Bowl our freshman year, boy.
Yeah, and then when I went there 06, like I said, I left fat, broke, I left overweight and out of shape. I fell in love with beignets too much, man. But but like I said, I just wanted to hit you up, man, and just tell you congrats, bro, and I'll touch base with you. And if you need anything from a recruiting standpoint, man, we got Mandarin rocking over here in Jacksonville. So
I know, boy, y'all loaded over there. I will definitely be in contact with you, bro. So yeah, let's stay in contact because I got them kids over there. That's cool for sure.
All right, bro. I'll let you.
All right, good talking to you, bro. Yep.
No, that's one of my y'all know, man. Leon used to. We definitely would get that dope, boys, to talk about Tuesday nights BW3 our senior year. This is when I knew money. Like I knew he was money because Leon took us out every Tuesday night to BW3 Buffalo Wild Wings, and we drank and we ate, and boy did we drink and then we eat. One time I drank so much that they thought I was able to miss Wednesday practice. They thought I had the flu. Like I had never drank. It was we called it, but that's when I stopped drinking mixed drinks. We drank blue motherfuckers, which is nothing more than a Hawaiian, not Hawaiian. What's the thing? A Long Island iced tea, but it's a blue Long Island iced tea. But anyways, good dude. Glad he's doing that. My bad. Just figured might as well see if we can't get him on the phone. See what happens. Just people answer the phone. And yes, Bert, I did turn a guy into a coffee salesman. It's one another thing to my resume. But did y'all have Wild Wings when you were there? No, it was where Ocala and Tennessee Street meet at, right by that Waffle House. It's something else. It turned to something else, I think. It's on right to the other side of the car wash. No, Walgreens is on the other side of the street where Publix is at. Like same side. It's like a restaurant. I forgot. I can't think of the name of it. Relish. I think Relish is. No, it might not be. Prime Time is what it was. Prime Time. Because I went there. I was like, this doesn't look the same. 25-cent chicken wings on Tuesday with a minimum of 8. So you had to spend $2. Boy, I tell you what, boy, it was America was better then when wings were reasonably priced. All right, my bad. Let's go ahead and get back into the show. I know we skipped something with Leon being. If y'all didn't know, that was Leon Washington, all-time Seminole great, one of the best return men in NFL history. He is now coaching at let's say Livingstone. I just saw my dog was coaching Limestone. And we just found out, I had no idea, former NC State great and another good Jets receiver, Jericho Cotry, is the head coach over there. So as you see, one of the people I tell people, do you see how the fraternity works? Like once you get in there, you make some friends in the NFL, man, or you make friends in college. Like people just look out for each other. Because I mean, he literally, I'm here. I might as well do something. And people just continue to build those relationships, build those rapport. And Leon's a very humble dude for a guy who's accomplished so much. And that's how I know Kevin Sullivan, that was his high school coach, who ended up becoming a pretty good mentor of me in adult life. And Kevin, again, great people, and that's why coach, and you heard his heart. He's like, I just get a chance to influence the young men more. So we need more good coaches like that in there who don't really need. They'll use the money, but they don't need the money. They just want to be able to influence guys the proper way. Man, Leon's great. He's also in the Gator Bowl Hall of Fame, which hopefully one day I'll be able to get in. Who knows? I don't know, but it'll be great to be able to get into some kind of Hall of Fame. So, but yeah. So that's that news right there for a little FSU tidbit.
All right, so we got this viral post by Matt Brown on Twitter. There's been a lot of speculation of D1 schools transitioning into D2 schools, or whether that be FBS schools transitioning into FCS schools, because they are still D1 as well. But I wanted to share this tweet with you all to get some engagement, get some chats going in the chat. So we got this right here. So from Matt Brown: hearing from multiple industry people, I trust that several D1 schools are having serious internal talks about reclassifying out of D1 before July/the House. I'd be a little surprised if nobody ends up doing it this year. Budget cuts may force some hands. Then he had a reply: not sure what schools end up going through with it or not. Nobody wants to be first. And to be fair, some of these situations are more about the school being in very rough shape than just house/revenue share/athletic expenses. Not much you can do in an enrollment revenue crisis. James, I saw you sent this tweet to me, so I want to ask your opinion on this more specifically. Do you think a lot of schools will have this opt out before July, with all the settlements, with just all the encompassing factors going on with it? And do you think we'll see this trend continue to persist?
All right, before I comment on this, do me a favor. Click on Matt Browse, because I was listening. I read it and I was like, okay, that could happen. But then I thought about it. I'm like, man, I don't know, man. Let me see how. Like, let's check his resume out. All right, man. Blue check mark, but you can pay $8 for that. Okay. How many followers is it? 4. We got a decent amount. All right. Let me maybe you gotta go back. Let me just. I just need to do more. I want to do more research on the person. All right. So I don't think it happens. I think it happens more on the G5 level than it will on the P5 level. And I don't think it affects people this year, because the reason why is because of contracts, right? It will cost schools more money to get out of the contracts right now, because of what you would be doing and how it would affect your economy of the school in the local part, it'll be a bad look. But I do see this as being probably one of the shifts, and the reason why is because the people in power happen to look more like one group more than other. Are known to cut off their noses to spite their face. The House settlement happened because there was so much money being put into sports through TV deals that they felt that they needed to distribute some of the money, not all of it, some of the money. So the only way that I can see, I don't like, so let's say it's 20 million. I think for the SEC schools, it's 20 million, right? Something like that. Oh, 20 million that's going to the athletes. They already gutted Title IX, so now they can distribute the funds anyway. We have Georgia. I think I shared that with you, didn't I? Where Georgia has an allotment of how they're spending their money, 75% going to football, and then just other stuff, and then guaranteeing scholarships and blah, 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 yakety smacky. I can see maybe USF's in Big 12 now, right? Or is it just UCF in the Big 12? Forget FAU. I can see FAU maybe doing it because FAU doesn't have a big time TV deal. Maybe if they did go down to D2 or even FCS, you don't have to have 85 full scholarships. You can have X amount of scholarships. And then what happens is you can potentially do the exact same thing on a D2 level that you did on the FBS level when in terms of TV contracts if you have bigger name programs going into the D2 school, these D2 areas. They'll have better facilities than most D2s because they had to keep up with the Joneses in FBS. And, you know, I the reality is this. There are 50, and I've been saying this for over a decade. There are only 50 schools year in and year out that can truly compete on the level to be able to compete for a national championship. And those schools need to get together and go ahead and make a power conference or their version of the NFL, play each other, come up with brackets, become a semi-pro, and have real rules and regulations. And you'll make people happy. Now, the people who won't be happy are the people who have not come to the realization that their college isn't one of those 50. And the reason why I say 50 is because you will have Alabama, Ohio State, Georgia as of recently that will consistently be in the tops. But that leaves you LSU having their good again, off again, go on again, off again. Your Florida States from going for their cyclical stuff. Their Floridas, the Miamis, if you will. A lot of these other programs that are more cyclical because of funds. But now once you put everybody on an even playing field, you make it what it is. And that's how capitalism works. Jalen, shit, what's my man's name? I can't think with the hairline, with the crispy. But is he bald now? I know he used to be known for his hair, but he talked about the only places they have restrictions on sports is where the majority on the field doesn't look like the majority off the field. Basketball and baseball are the only sports where people say, basketball and football are the only sports where people say, oh, well, they can't be pros. But those are the ones that make the most money. They're going to force you to feed the system and pay into the system before you get a chance to go into the next part of it. You got to pay your dues. Well, I don't give a fuck about that no more. Now capitalism has made it so much so that where you paid your dues at is too profitable. It's damn near as profitable as the big boys. But I think if the NFL created a semi-pro, you would probably have a much better situation than the G League.
Yeah, I thought it was an interesting infographic, especially with the landscape of the revenue sharing and the ban of Title IX and everything like that. So just want to get your guys' opinion on that. And then coming out of West Virginia, I thought this was fake, so I had to do my own research. But This is a real ESPN article, and we're about to get into it. So, West Virginia football's head coach Rich Rodriguez bans TikTok dancing. So, this is an ESPN article, like I mentioned, and West Virginia coach Rick Rodriguez, like all football coaches, wants his players to show up on time, work hard, and play their best. Oh, and another thing, don't dance on TikTok. So, quote, they're going to be on it, referring to TikTok, so I'm not banning them from it. He said Monday, I'm just banning them from dancing on it. It looks like we try to have a hard edge or whatever, and you're in there in your tights dancing on TikTok. Ain't quite the image of our program that I want. James, if you were a college football coach, would you agree with these sentiments and would you implement his TikTok dancing ban for your team?
He's not the first one. Did you see what Matt Rule did in Nebraska? He saw one of the guys that gets dancing with his daughter on TikTok. So they implemented TikTok dances as punishments in their workouts and their conditioning. But it was just like, he was like, you're doing this in the facilities and you're not supposed to be doing this. He's like, okay, since y'all wanna dance. I mean, go back, read it again. Read what his statement was one more time, though.
They're going to be on it, so I'm not banning them from it. I'm just banning them from dancing on it. It's like, look, we try to have a hard edge or whatever, and you're in there in your tights dancing on TikTok. Ain't quite the image of our program that I want.
I'll be honest with you. Some of the dances, some of it's just a bit too much. But this is what, not the kids haven't changed. It's the adults. They didn't have TikTok, though. I will say that. But I'll say this. Ain't nobody more dancing than a Florida nigga. They do the bop. They do that, whatever that shit that we do when they play the grind mode and all the other songs where people just be stepping in place. I remember people doing Wu-Tang with it. Jacksonville, we play Set It Off by Rafe. We have Whoop. We have all kinds of fucking dances. That's what people my age were doing when they, still to this day, but definitely when we were younger. In the 80s, y'all had breaking, which is what Rich Rod would have. And Rich Rod could be like, well, we didn't do that in white culture. Bullshit, y'all got fucking line dances. One thing, it is white people are coordinated when they want to be coordinated. Go to a country thing and watch them do that achy breaky heart shit. It ain't nothing but the electric slide. White people know how to dance. People be dancing, and it's the old guys be acting like it's so. I'm tired of that argument about like Tupac had a nose ring. Everybody liked Prince. Michael Jackson was androgynous. Michael Jordan had hoop earrings. When my grandmother said any dude with one hoop earring was gay. Like every generation thinks the next generation is gay, and that might be true. The next generation might get gayer than the next one. But at the same time, dog, like let them boys dance, man.
There's a little bit. I mean,
it's not going to make you tougher.
Imagine you seen Warren Sapp doing one of these.
I've seen Warren Sapp pop lock in the club before.
Yeah, that's different than a TikTok dance.
But I'm just saying, there's just no videos with it. I'm just saying, it's not like so. Okay, all right. Again, I'm just want to. Okay, it's okay. Like so, this is what it's. Be gay in the closet. Just don't be gay out front. But what he's saying is we want to have an edge. That's not making you have an edge. Yeah. They're going to dance, dog. You're not going to make street dudes. You're either a street dude or you're not a street dude.
We grinded on girls at the club.
Now that I will say this. Now that is the thing that what really concerns me is how they're dancing. But it's not the boys' fault. It's the girls' fault because somewhere in all of this, and now women are clamoring for this back. My day, you found out if you was ugly or handsome very, very fast. One, you try to get a girl's number because we had to write them down. And also it was easier to get caught. Like if you come home with a pocket full of numbers, she go through your pants, you done. You toasted, brother. You had to have paper and a pen and TikTok and not TikToks. What is it? The shit, the little gun. You had to have mints because you don't want your breath to be in breath stank. Or was it Banaka, the spray? You had to have something because you didn't want to have that. You've been talking all day. You don't want your breath to be ripe. But like when we would go to a dance, a teen club, or a party. You saw the girl over there. She was with her homegirls. And they're dancing. They either play, because when I come up, we had booty shaking music, and then you had Fight Club music, and then you had slow dances. And like if you ever seen the story from The Wood, the movie The Wood, you would understand, like, hey, can I dance? And then you also, as a teenager, you had to control your hormones. Because, something could happen, and then you have, like, this is how we dance in North Carolina. Like, he had to get the arm in. But when you wanted her to know, boom, you brought her right up on close to you. And you danced in front, and then when you wanted to, see what that thing was thinging like before the BBLs got out of control, you could turn her around and y'all just slow dance like this. Y'all like the way the right. In Dream had the song, it's the Johnny Bob. You just do that little right there, and which dance is nothing more than simulating sex acts, which is terrible for kids to do. But bottom line is, again, we was fresh and we was grown. I don't know what. That's why when my friends be posting on Facebook, these kids are too fresh, and I said, no, Bianca. I seen the dude pick you up and put him on the shoulders when we was at the Delta Teen Party at the Armory. Like, I know you. I know you for real. I know how you got a kid at 18. They wasn't fast. They're not faster now. They just got social media. We just couldn't get exposed by our parents because we were also smart enough when somebody was really getting down, you surround them with a wall. Don't let the people get in there. Don't let the adults see it. But anyways, so you had that. I mean, dances happen. But like I said, they don't do that no more. The reason why they don't do it no more is because girls, don't get around me. We're dancing with our friends. You can't even tell, hey, man, smile a little bit. Don't tell me to smile, blah, blah, blah. You're so fucking angry. Now the girls is dancing to the Fight Club music, to the bouncing music. Like, we used to throw bows, and then it used to be women get out of there, but now the women want to get in there, throw bows too. All I'm saying is you can't blame the boys because, and also here's the other reason. You know why they really doing them TikTok dances? Go read their comments. I tell you a comment to go read your nephew's TikTok. You know who's under his TikTok? Girls. The girls are the one. Women dictate the behavior of dudes. You think dudes? Look at a single man who ain't got no woman. He has not a care in the world. He has a TV, a PlayStation, and a chair, some plastic Tupperware, and a bunch of takeout boxes. You know when men get furniture? When they get a woman. You know when men really care about the car they got? When they get a woman. Like, we dress up, throw on cologne. We ain't throwing on cologne for us. Yeah, it might make you feel good, but the reason why you feel good is because you know you about to go get some attention from a woman. So guess what, Coach? You want to really pull Alyssa Strata at West Virginia, and I guarantee you won't even have to punish them from TikTok dancing. Get all the women to stop liking and commenting on these damn TikToks and stop telling them it's cute and it's sexy, and then you'll get the boy. You'll eradicate this in one recruiting class. 90% of the things that men do is for food and pussy. Even making money. Making money is to buy food and make sure you can acquire women. May not necessarily be paying them. Try not to do that directly. That's a felony or misdemeanor, excuse me. It's only a felony if it's an underage person, which you shouldn't be doing. But you're still trying to acquire the status. So, all right, like I said, to me, I'm not finna do it. I tell people don't get on there think I'm finna do. I don't like matching pajamas. I don't like TikTok stuff. I don't like any of that stuff. And that's just me because I'm too old to be doing that. But if I was 20-something, I don't know. Does your girl make you do TikTok dances, Jaden? Well, that's good. I'm liking his girl more and more every day. She's solid. But a lot of these boys just doing that stuff because and then their mamas ain't no better.
The problem is he has to be super tough in order to call these kids out their name, like not calling them tough just because they do dances. Who is he like known as?
Rich Rod is the reason why football is so pussy right now. Rich Rod is one of the originators of the spread offense.
That's why he's
He took away the fucking fullback and the tight end and started spreading people around and throwing the ball around the fucking field and wondering why kids is pussy. Don't come over here with no tough guy. I can see if he was a wing T I formation guy. We need the grit back in football. Yeah. Bitch, you went 5 fucking wide. You got all the big boys off the field. Fuck out of here. That's the problem. These old heads, like these guys are trying to be so tough. The crazy part is imagine you over Terry Crews is the most pop locking motherfucker in the world. But imagine if Terry Crews really gets mad at you like he should have got mad at the dude who grabbed his dick.
I don't know about that.
Maybe not Terry Crews. That might be right. Wrong example. You know who I'm afraid of? I'm glad I haven't seen him no more. I don't know if he died to be great. I don't know what happened to him. But remember the big Haitian dude that would take a bite of food and then wore the clothing that was 2 sizes too small? And did it what's his name? They definitely, wow.
Isn't it?
Shit. God damn. I don't know if you're saying that. I'm hoping he's not the dancing gorilla. Because he really do. Oh, man. Wow. Wow. He's a caricature. He really is. He's proven the racist whites right. he does look like a gorilla. He looks like one. I'm saying like some people look. But I'm just saying, dog, when he be popping, he be popping, dog. But imagine you telling him that he can't enjoy his food and then pop lock. Yeah, he's gonna be really angry. You go look up the dancing. Like my man said dancing Sambo. It bothers me. It bothers me because like I don't want people. Are you right? No, that's the song.
That's his TikTok.
Yeah,
Germany.
Boston. But check it. But look, but keep reading it. It doesn't. Clive Ebugazi, formerly known as the Grooving Gorilla. Okay, he's now Big Groove. He was born in Germany and raised in Boston. What the fuck are y'all doing in Boston, Miles? By a single. I was going to say the guys who are dancing were not raised by their fathers. We can change all of this, man. Get rid of, again, there are people who this is a generalization. TK's from Boston?
Oh no,
oh yeah, you're right. Then that he definitely has a crazy sense of humor. I love Patrice but just damn, man, his name is Patrice. He had to be tough. Every dude with a feminine name like has to be tough. I think of the football coaches that you know, they just scream defensive guys. Leslie Frazier, like but nah, this man was raised by a single mother in Boston.
Like, God damn, I'm so tired of this single mother playing there, and I'm a man.
Me too. I was raised by a single mother. I'm not like that, but I do understand some of it. Like the new single mothers, the old single mothers wasn't having that shit. These new single mothers are like, no, that's okay, baby. Go on and put your hand out like that and talk with it. Taste your words when you speak, and come hang out and listen to grown women's conversations. No, but it didn't stop everybody. My cousin Joey got arrested dead, and Joey was sweeter than Project Kool-Aid. But grandmother wouldn't let him play. When my mom wanted to play with her dolls when she was growing up, and Joey wanted to go over there and play, my grandmother said, "Get your ass out of here and go outside with the men's." But that's not what these kids are getting these days.
So many L's.
Y'all got wait a minute.
All the championships.
Benzino? The dude who ran the source?
Yeah.
That got caught with a transmission? His daughter, that's the one whose daughter look like one of them things from Men in Black.
Oh my God.
The little worm things? Yeah. She's cute though. She's like a cute worm thing. She's just really tiny. But anyways, go to the next thing. Fuck Rich Rod, man. But if that works for his program, West Virginia definitely. I will say this: it doesn't match West Virginia. Like I think but none of it matches West Virginia. I think people with no teeth and moonshine.
This is our feel old yet picture right here. We got NFL legend EJ and his son. His son hoops for Cincinnati. And man, I just thought this was a funny meme. You see the Saving Private Ryan meme right here, but his son Jizzle James plays for Cincinnati, hooping out for them.
His name is not his name is not Jizz James. His name is not Jizz James. Come
that's definitely his nickname.
Hey, yo, I had to do it with.
But yeah, I'm trying to find his real name. But
it might be dog again. These names is out of control. His name might be Jizzle.
It's the time for us to go back. Like this ain't trends.
Like we got to start getting.
He's a junior, so he's Edgar James Jr.
So that's the next
yeah,
so it's Edge Jr.
Yeah, Edge Jr. Yep.
Why would you want your nickname to be Jizzle, to be Jizz, when your dad's nickname was so cold? His nickname was Edge. But it's all favorite. Ironically, very quiet individual. Doesn't talk a lot for a you guy, but he's cool as shit. I've hung out with Edge before.
Edge too much. You got a little
that happens. That's what happened. You got a little jizzle. Oh man, kudos to him, man. It's crazy when you see this happening. But he is older than me, so he should have a son that's graduating. But yeah, B Polo Kid put BG's nickname is B Jizzle. But have you seen the way B Jizzle has acted since he's been out?
No, not Chopper City.
It's a little. It ain't as gangster as it used to be. It's a little Fruitopia. But also, I'm gonna be honest with you. BG was in jail for a long time. Long time. It had fresh dreads when he came out. Now, I've never been to penitentiary, right? Knock on wood. Never have to go. But I don't think that there are any women in Gen Pop with you. Not women in the biblical sense, I would say. But the security guards can't do your hair. So there's only one way to get your hair done in jail. And you don't have that much time when you get visitation. So there's only one way that you got to get as a guy with dreads, it's only one way to get your hair retwisted. Even when they have those nice little chairs in the salons, they lift you up, but like they ain't got them kind of chairs in jail. All I'm saying is, I mean, them things were fresh too, man. Like, good for him, living his truth. And Birdman be a kissing, and Lil Wayne ain't far off, man. Y'all favorite rapper been calling another man daddy that ain't his daddy and kissing him in the lips. The only people that I've ever seen that happen for is when women call their man daddy and they'll kiss him on the lips. So listen, hey, all I'm saying is I like Cash Money, but it's some Catholic Church shit that was going on over there. Oh, and the dude Turk admitted they play gay games. And Turk been to jail too. Like the hot boys was hot. Again, so it goes back to my thing with Rich Rod. Old people, stop acting like gay shit ain't happened a long time ago, man. It's just you were young and in it. And you know what these young boys, they're young and in it. And you know what's gonna happen 20 years from now? They're gonna say the younger generation is gay too. Just telling you, man. Hey, just don't blame me. I was given this world, I didn't make it. Damn, that's old.
We got some news out of Davidson, man. Got some alma mater doing his thing for his school. So Steph Curry has accepted a role at Davidson College as an assistant general manager for the basketball team. Curry will help fund $10+ million to support the men's and women's teams. James, we've seen a lot of players go back to their alma maters and accept the general manager role. Steph Curry now, you have Adrian Wojnarowski, the former ESPN NBA insider. Then you got Andrew Luck going back to Stanford as well. So what do you think of the players going back to their alma maters and becoming GMs for their college programs? Do you think we'll see this trend continue?
How, oh no. How? Like, yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. How? I think it's one, first off, just regardless of that, I think more of this should happen. I think more of this should happen, or again, if HBCUs were savvy, HBCUs would adopt this and just let people do it. Because right now, basically, you know what Steph Curry is? He's the owner of the Davidson basketball team. He putting the money up. That's enough money. If he, even if it's not annually, if you put 10 million, you put 10 million in a high interest bearing account. What's that coming to you? Still gonna give you a good amount of money, especially if people can match it. There's ways to make money off of that. That's nobody's that chivalrous. I mean, nobody's that generous. Like when you get that kind of bread, like you have an idea of how I could leverage this and Davidson into my next career into doing other stuff. So like, even if they paid him $1 million a year, like they don't have the booster. Davidson's a private school, if I remember correctly, right? Or a small school, if nothing else. They don't have enough former like people to be able to put that kind of money into it. So if he's doing that, he'll be able to go get other stuff, and he's probably have another person that actually does the day to day. But if you put 10 million in a high interest bearing account, that's $500,000 a year it'll earn in interest. So like that right there with if you don't need to get all 15 cats paid. But if you pay a couple of those guys, you have enough money to be able to do what you need to do. But shit. Yeah. I like it. I want to be. I don't want to be GM. I just want to be director. I'm putting it out there. I would come back to Florida. My dog T told me, he's like, "What's Mandarin going to do when you leave to go to Florida State?" I said, "I don't want to go back to Tallahassee for less than $500,000. $250,000. Put me on staff at Florida State. Let me work remote. Let me work from here. Let me be like director of player recruitment or engagement or something like that. I would let it go back to my alma mater. I ain't got $10 million to give you. I can promise you that. But I could put something on. I could write you a check. Don't cash it no time soon. But no, I think this is dope. I think it's at a certain point, even though he's played for the Golden Skin Warriors his entire career, I think he would much rather go back to. But most people want to go back home, or what they would have called more relative to home. And I think that's a unique and dope thing for him if true. He's young enough and he's good enough. Yep. It'll also help them with recruiting because people like to be around greatness. Steph Curry is not just a notable alumni. He's on our staff. And that's a big thing.
Next, we have this infographic per college football alerts. We wanted to share it with you all. So these are the top 10 most watched college football teams from the 2024 season, and the metric they used was the average viewership per game. Now let's get into a deep dive of this. We got the 10 most college football teams with the average viewership per game. Coming in at number 1, you got Georgia with an approximate 8.5 million average viewership per game. Then you got Texas with 7.4 million, Ohio State 6.7 million, Alabama 6.6 million, Tennessee 6.4 million. Then you got Texas A&M with about 4.8 million, LSU 4.8 million. Then you got Penn State with 4.6 million. Then you have Kentucky, shocker, with $2.4 million. And lastly, to finish it off, you got the Buffs, Colorado, coming in at an average viewership per game of 4.1 million viewers. Any surprising teams on this list, James, you would like to discuss?
You said Kentucky? Is that who the number 9 team was? Yeah, that's surprising. UK. The other teams, not so much. I would think Colorado would be higher. Because one, they got the slot. The Colorado slot has always been right after the primetime SEC game. So what happens is you're finishing up watching one game and you're going right into that Colorado game. Like I would have 2 years ago. I remember exactly where I was at. I was at a Gator Bowl retreat. Florida played Tennessee in a really good, exciting game at night, and that went right into the Colorado State game. That's the only reason I watched the Colorado, and then Colorado State was getting in that ass. So it made everybody like, "Oh my God, I didn't think that this was going to be as good as it was going to be." So, but I thought Colorado would be a little higher. And their brand of, believe it or not, again, I know everybody believes all I, you'll see comments and people now said that. I just don't like Dion, and you can't make me like Dion. And the reason why, am I still muted? Mic check, mic check. Yeah, I just don't like Dion, and I just you won't get me to like Dion, and it's got nothing to do with anybody or Colorado. It's a fraternal thing. We were in the same frat, and he fucked the frat up, so fuck him. But that being said, I do enjoy. Yeah, you're logged off. That being said, I do enjoy what he's doing as a black man, as a coach, and I'm rooting for him, and I love what he's doing as a father to one of his sons. We all know that he doesn't like the other ones. Are we not connected? You know what? I'm still on. I don't know how, but ah, nah, the background. Yeah, I mean, whatever. All right, cool. I had to go check myself. But nah, that's the only thing with Dion. It's got nothing to do with Sports Mart. I don't know. Yeah, every parent does have a favorite. My favorite is Kai right now. My favorite goddaughter is Skylar. Um, but I actually in my right now it's a tie between my favorite what do you call them? As I only have I have one. But yeah, so like every parent has a favorite, but I treat them the same though. Like Trey doesn't get treated any different than Killer does. Like we clearly know that Dion Jr. doesn't get treated very well, and Shiloh is just hated. So Shadur is clearly the love child. You don't even hear him talk about his daughter anymore. So, but anyways, we're going to the next day. I thought Colorado would be a little bit higher though, but
Next, man, I don't know what this editor for Hayes was thinking, but they applied some brute force to this football infographic. You know, Hayes Foster, he comes with the committed graphics. And this one went a little too overboard, I might have to add. But if you guys did not know, the Ohio State mascot's name is Brutus, Brutus the Buckeye. And Brutus the Buckeye was given back shots. So, Miles, look, don't shoot the messenger, bro. Look, 4-star interior offensive lineman Max Riley has committed to Ohio State. And then Brute was applying that Brute. And somebody said back shots from the mascot is crazy.
Doggy style, doggy style commitment photos. So shout out to Chad Scott, the former general manager at Tintin Excel, who taught me a lot. He said something on the internet. He's like the things that will always sell on the internet: gambling and gambling advice, niche porn, and recruiting. He's like, if you can combine all three, you'll be a trillionaire. The problem is recruiting is dealing with underage kids. Shout out to Hayes for finding a way to combine two of them. Because this is softcore porn. Somebody's like, I would look at this and be like, hey, you're never doing a fucking edit for me again. But this is why I keep telling people, like, Hayes, I guess they put so much pressure on Hayes for recycling the same graphic that he had to go change something. He had to go switch it up. And the no hands thing is really throwing me. Like, he's really getting into rhythm. But the reality is that edits, that even if you didn't have backshot Brutus, the edit sucks, man. They're literally making another man. They're making. This is a DEI hire. They are making this man with no talent, who there are so many better editors than this, but he gets to do all of the major guys' commitments. This is the guy who's taking the job away from really qualified people. I'm gonna give you an example. Every time I'm gonna give y'all an example of where it actually fucking happens. Right here. But damn, that's wild. It's wild. Backshot Brutus.
Yeah, I definitely fired the editor who made this. The Ranger, whatever title you have should be relinquished from the Hayes Fawcett account. But we got to move on to our NFL segment. Man, the free agency has been going crazy. But before we get into some notable players, got to talk about this player in particular first. I want to give him a shout out. Former Seminole, got his money right. Let me just pull it up for you all right here. So if you guys did not know, the Texans are bringing back defensive lineman Mario Edwards on a 2-year, $9.5 million deal. Huge shout out to the Seminole for getting his bread and continuing his tenure with the Houston Texans.
He's been playing he's had a career, man. Birth no, like nobody's really talking about like how his dad coached too for a little bit up at FSU, but his dad played cornerback at FSU. Trying to figure out who his mom is, because his dad is not a big guy for him to come out like that. Just makes you, again, one of those, corner. Cookie Edwards. Yeah. Yeah. Good for him. I love seeing those make money.
Huge shout out to him for doing his thing as well. Now we're going to get into some of the notable free agency moves that occurred in the NFL. We're going to start from the most recent and work our way backwards. And this is mostly going to be per Adam Schefter, the NFL lead insider for ESPN. So
Starbucks squabbler.
Squabbled up with Jordan Schultz in the Starbucks at the combine. Yes, that is him. So
imagine getting pressed at your daddy's business.
the Bills are adding some utility and some artillery to their roster. 5-time Pro Bowl defensive end Joey Bosa reached an agreement tonight on a 1-year, $12.6 million deal with the Buffalo Bills. This occurred last night. James, do you think this move could take the Bills over the top to get them into that championship level realm with this signing and Joey Bosa?
If he's healthy, I mean, if not, I mean, it's a name. It's buying name brand right before it goes out of style. But I think it doesn't hurt. And then they just got rid of Vaughn, right? So basically, actually, they're just replacing one old retiring pass rusher with a younger version of that. So if he only plays, I think I think that might be the new move, especially with so much salary cap money. Get your younger players to play. Actually, almost the Bronny with the thing that everybody hates Bronny James for right now. Get some of your younger players, let them play some games during the season, and let your vets that you know what they can do, let them rest a little bit and make sure that they're ready to go full speed by the playoffs. Think about Gronk with Tampa Bay. Gronk missed most of that season, but Gronk had a hell of a playoff run. They only needed him when they needed him. Same thing with Leonard Fournette that year. You only need him when you need him. And I think that should be it. But I'm shocked he didn't go with his brother. It would have been cool to see. I would have if he would have went to San Fran, I would have took the Wayans brothers intro song and put it with them. We're brothers. We're happy and we're singing and we're colored, just to make him mad. Just to make one of. Well, I don't think he would get mad. The other one would probably be irate. You know, he only likes blacks when they're on the field. Tongue in cheek joke. Don't come at. I don't know if he's racist or not. Don't really care. It doesn't affect me.
Make sitcoms great again. Anyways, we got some more news. DeAndre Hopkins has signed a 1-year deal that costs $5 million, but could get up to $6 million with the Baltimore Ravens. And he posted this picture 5 years ago. He was kind of forecasting his future with this one right here. So we got it right here. So he tweeted 5 years ago, how many TDs would this trio total? And wow, it's coming into fruition, man. Coming into fruition. But people on the internet took no time to mention how Baltimore is a graveyard for wide receivers. So per ML Football, the Ravens is where legendary wide receivers go to die, in all caps. Got Dez Bryant, Deshaun Jackson, Steve Smith Sr., Odell Beckham, Jeremy Maclin, DeAndre Hopkins, and Quan Bolden.
A lot of those aren't legendary, by the way. And secondly, he's already dead. So like it's not like he had Pat Mahomes and didn't do much. But I will say this. I know this is not a safe space and this is not a popular take, and it's tragic, that story that they had to live through, but his mom got a wagon. Mom got ass, dog. Like, and she a fine blonde lady, man. Like, when I saw her at the team hotel, I was like, yo. I was like, I put in my group chat, who's full of diabolical people, gonna tell me I'm wrong, like being blind stops you from having ass. They put women in there with no arms and no legs that are thick and talk about stuff, but this is where we draw the line. Mama got to live a life too. She ain't old. But D-Hop going to Baltimore, shout out to him.
Shout out to D-Hop. Next on our list for the NFL free agency, some big names right here. Former Chiefs safety Justin Reed reached an agreement today with the Saints on a 3-year, $31.5 million deal, including $22.25 million fully guaranteed. So huge shout out to him. Next, our boy Chauncey, man. This is one of the bigger news stories in the NFL free agency. Houston is acquiring veteran safety C.J. Gardner-Johnson from the Eagles in exchange for former first-round pick Kenyon Green. And the trade includes a pick swap with the Eagles getting a 2026 fifth-round pick and the Texans getting a 2026 sixth-round pick. James, What do you think about the Texans? I know they're battling some injury last year, especially with Nico, Stefan out, and obviously Tank Dell with that gruesome injury. But man, do you think the Texans are making their way in the AFC with these moves they are making?
I think that's a that's a good move. That's like that's a good Christian Kirk didn't bother me with that one. CJ is pretty good. The only thing about him is you got to make sure you got some real secure people in your locker room and you're winning. And what I mean by that is his personality is really strong and he does say what's on his mind. And I don't mind that. I just think sometimes when you have a lot of other shit going on, that shit get old. And it rubs people the wrong way. And it's why Philly has a leave them, like send them away, bring them back relationship with him. But I do think he's a talented football player, though. But he is always talking. But I think but I can tell you this, he won't be back in another Super Bowl in Houston. That's got nothing to do with Houston as much as it has to be. There will not be an AFC South Division Super Bowl winner anytime soon. Anytime soon. Like one day. Boy, oh my goodness. Like, I don't want to know, you know what? I don't want it to be the next 2 years for the Jags. Don't put us on the West Coast. We need to be somewhere closer to this part of the world and let us win the Super Bowl. Let us be in the Super Bowl. I don't even care about winning. The coverage that we'll have. I care about winning. Well, I mean, winning would be dope. Actually, you know what? No, you're right. My bad. You're right. Because I would be able to I'll have access. I have a cool ass parade. We probably have the dopest show at that point. Like I'm definitely forcing First Coast News to let me have a space at the station to be able to run my pod. Because the way they're going to fucking work me, bitch, you better best believe I'm leaving with something. But
around the way.
But like, Steve asked a great question. He's like, James, if the Super Bowl were in New Orleans, I mean, if the Jags were in the Super Bowl, how busy would you be? And I'd been busier than a one-legged man in an ass kicking competition. Like, I would be going from point A to point B. I'm getting my shit. I'm still getting all the access to the stuff, but for them not to have no Starbucks, like we had Starbucks, they just didn't have my nitro. I'd have had to do Coke. But I'd have been doing it. I'd have been everywhere I needed to be at and full of energy. But I'd have crashed right when that bitch was over, though. But like, I don't want him in San Fran, man. Don't want him in San Fran. That's too far. Don't want him in LA. Too far. New Orleans, Atlanta, anywhere like that. Bet.
So, moving on with some more free agency news. The Giants have reached an agreement with former Dolphins free agent Javon Holland. So, he mentioned that the kind of some characteristics he wanted to be a part of for his new team, leadership being one of them, and just going on about all the strong characteristics a great organization needs. And I don't think he's going to get those with the Giants. And obviously, they've been having a lot of problems, especially in the managerial / organizational role. And this is one of the problems we're going to take a deeper dive into. So the Giants are re-signing wide receiver Darius Slayton to a 3-year deal worth $36 million. And you guys may be wondering, what are the number comparisons between him and Saquon? So they did not want to pay Saquon $33 million over 3 years, or they didn't want to better that offer, but they decided to pay Darius Slayton $36 million over 3 years. So the money moves isn't really making any moves right now, and I just hope Darius Slayton has a great season. But the Giants are not looking too well. They're continuing to slander their own name with their own moves and their own players that they've been paying. So, man, just a crazy thing to see, and just definitely a great infographic. And I'm shout out to NFL on CBS for bringing that to the light as well. Next on the free agent We have some news from the running back world. The Chargers reached an agreement with former Steelers running back Najee Harris on a 1-year deal worth up to $9.25 million. James, are you a fan of Najee's game? Because I would say I'm a pretty big fan of Najee's game. Strong running back, downhill runner. What is your thoughts on Najee Harrison? How do you think he's going to fit in with the Chargers?
I think they need a physical back, another one. So I think, I think I like his style. I like Pittsburgh running backs though. Like, just hopefully it kind of it translates over there. Obviously you have a good quarterback and good receiving core, good tight end. They just gotta take it to the next level. Again, the Chargers franchise might be cursed. So.
And then we got some news out of NOLA right here. So the Saints are re-signing defensive end Chase Young to a 3-year, $51 million deal worth up to 57 though. However, Saints need all the help. Yes, all the help they can get on both sides of the ball. So I'm glad they're making some type of moves to hopefully progress their franchise.
Should have done right by Jameis.
James, your boy is in the gutter, man. Fullbacks are not
Juice.
appreciated, man. Yes, your boy Juice, Kyle Juice Tech, was released from the 49ers and set to hit free agency. No team has picked him up yet, but I'm pretty sure they will. Definitely a utility type of player. But James, what's wrong with these fullbacks, man? Why they aren't getting the love they deserve?
Because these coaches like their players dancing on TikTok and shit. And making the game softer. Now I think he'll be picked up by somewhere. And as me and one of the greatest fullbacks of all time were discussing, if you can go check our interview on Den Media Group or Big Games Gridiron, all the good teams have one. So this lets me know the San Francisco 49ers are an unserious organization. Ever since they've had a fullback, they have gotten better. Now they're getting rid of one, and now it's like, okay, but they maybe, but what people are looking at is the outcome, right? And he's played 13 years in the NFL, say, right? Or
he's
some
9-time Pro Bowl.
9-time Pro. He's played a while. Had a great career because he went to the smart school. It's not like he even went to the big ones. This man could potentially go somewhere else to a franchise like the Jags that needs some leadership and some physicality. And what if then the coach of the 49ers hasn't changed? So what if they bring up the next great fullback? So we might have just put another fullback into the universe. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna be optimistic for the fullback world. But if I can pay a rookie fullback league minimum or a younger fullback league minimum, as opposed to paying a guy I'm gonna have to give $4 or $5 million, I'm gonna take the haircut right there. All things being considered.
Next, we got some quarterback news. So, former Broncos quarterback Zach Wilson has reached an agreement on a 1-year, $6 million deal, fully guaranteed. That could potentially grow to $10 million with the Miami Dolphins. Now, if you guys have been paying attention, the backup quarterbacks in Miami have been getting their time to shine, obviously with Tua getting the concussion injury. So it's not like there's a low chance of him seeing the field. So we might see Zach get out there and hopefully lead the Dolphins to a W. But yes, former Broncos QB Zach Wilson has reached this new deal with the Dolphins. Next thing, moving forward, Cooper Kupp. So obviously the Rams are planning to release wide receiver Cooper Kupp after the start of the new league year, unless a trade materializes. I know as a Jags fan, I would love to see him on our squad. Just got rid of Christian Kirk. So maybe I would like to see him in our teal and our blue. So James, are you a fan of the talks surrounding Cooper Kupp becoming the Jags, putting on that teal?
I do. I am. But I'm going to be honest with you, though. I like Cooper Kupp. And when he plays, he plays. Why did people hate Christian Kirk, though? Because he's often injured. So we're going to take an often injured guy that we didn't want to, that we traded, that we already knew we had, to go pay more to an often injured guy. That's just where things kind of don't make sense. That being said, Cooper Kupp's from LA. Head coach spent time in LA. GM spent time in LA. Easiest way to make your program better is to bring people around that know what you're talking about, and he does. So similar terminology. You can relate. You can get the playbook quicker. Those are all things that I'm okay with. I just want wins, because today is the actual day where you can actually sign everybody. Right? Everything else has been tampering, legal tampering. I think today's Wednesday. Wednesday. Yeah, this morning was the official start of the league year.
So yeah, we'll definitely get some more news coming out of the NFL world with the official league year starting today, and got some more news right quick for you all. So 49ers cornerback Travarius Ward reached an agreement on a 3-year deal worth up to $60 million, including $35 million guaranteed and a $20 million signing bonus with the Colts, AFC South rival franchise.
Everybody says, "Man, I need my." Have we listened to how many 20? So baseball and basketball do a really good job of overinflating the few big deals. Like each team has one or two big deals, right? Like right now, have y'all seen how many people getting 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 million dollars in the NFL now? And people are still saying, yeah, I'm going to let my kid play baseball. All right, they might not ever get that. I'm going to let my kid play basketball where there's only 15 people on a team at a time. Like it's even in the NFL, it's 53 active. Now they all not, and the league minimum will be $1 million soon. League minimum in baseball is $500,000. League minimum in basketball, I think, is similar too. It's just the guys who are on the front of the bench that aren't on the bench are making a ton of money. The guys on that bench though, nah, not so much. So let your kid swing a bat and do all that shit and never make it. It never made nothing. I'm gonna take the odds of the numbers and my son being a millionaire at 22, as opposed to not being a millionaire at 34 and playing in the minors and all that other shit. Unless I'm LeBron James type person and I can guarantee my kid a job, which is what everybody believes happened.
Next, we got some news in the quarterback world. Eagles are trading quarterback Kenny Pickett to the Cleveland Browns for a 2025 fifth-round pick and QB Dorian Thompson Robinson, two last names. Kenny Pickett had that viral moment last year where he tried to throw the ball and then the ball tackled him to the ground, actually, which was a funny video. And it's fitting he's going to the Browns with that quarterback play in mind. So, man, Kenny Pickett, good luck to him in the future. Next.
Wait a minute. So have they figured out what they're doing with so they must be drafting a quarterback, because there's no way they're going with Kenny Pickett for the future.
They still got Deshaun too. They restructured his contract. Yeah, they did restructure Deshaun's contract just to alleviate some of that cap space. Then we got some NFC South news right here. Just touching up on this right quick. Former Falcons Pro Bowl defensive tackle Grady Jarrett released today from Atlanta, but he reached a new home, found a new home with a 3-year, $43.5 million deal, including $28.5 guaranteed with the Bears. So he got his money right away. Shout out to him.
His name sounds like a sheriff in Polk County.
We talked about the Chargers getting Najee, and they also picked up another target as well. Former, the Bill. I'm sorry about that. The Chargers actually got rid of this player to go to the Bills, but the Bills reached an agreement with the Chargers wide receiver Josh Palmer on a 3-year, $36 million deal. So the Bills are getting a lot of players, getting a lot of notable players on their team, and we talked about Bosa earlier. Now they got Palmer, so they're going to be looking dangerous in Buffalo for this one. So we're going to keep moving forward. Big news out of the quarterback world, out of the New York Jets organization. So Justin Fields reached an agreement on a 2-year, $40 million deal that includes $30 million guaranteed with the Jets. James, Aaron Glenn saw something in Justin Fields, wanted to get him on his team. How do you think his career will pan out, knowing the history of quarterbacks in the Jets organization?
I don't like this because it fucks up on my guy Jay Trav, but he's guaranteed a good shot, dog. That's a lot of money to put up. That's a lot of money to put up, and it's a short-term deal. I think it gives incentive for Justin Fields to be able to produce, so that he could get the bigger deal. But like, I like it, man. They got a wide receiver. The defense will be better. They got a good running back. The Jets aren't far off. It's just, and the NFL is not like college. Like you could have won 2 games one year and then you can be in the fucking playoffs in the next year with a snap of the fingers. But it just goes to show when Jay Trav's agent said that shit, the first thing I said is he talked too much. Talked too fucking much. Now, good kid is fucked up. But yeah. I mean, I do think Jay Trav will finish out his contract with the Jets. Like he'll play 3 years. This will be his second year of his deal. He'll get his bread, and then it's probably gonna be it for him, man. Like,
I mean, 3 years.
to sit on the bench, yeah. I mean, but once you're in, I mean, he might get a chance to go to make another stop. But it's hard for quarterback. Quarterbacks don't really have. Never more again when the money is the way that it is now, you have to learn a role unless you're a superstar. It is a superstar marketing driven league, just like the NBA. That's what I'm saying. I think he can be. I think that's just what he'll be. But even career backups have a career game. Like they have something that they've played. Like even out of like a big game. Well, Brock was Brock was during that time when you were getting trained up and you were under somebody. Like the only people who didn't have to play were the Patriots quarterbacks. Like they knew you were developed. They knew they could bring you in and probably that's what the thought was. And they were taking all of his coaches at the time. Now, here's what could happen. Aaron Glenn comes in and has success with the Jets in the next 2 years. Good success. They're going to poach his staff. Somebody from his staff will become a head coach. Hopefully, it's an offensive coach. That offensive coach will be more likely to take somebody that knows his system. So there's a place for a Jay Trav to be able to come in, may not even be the starter, but be a guy that can help coach up the next person that coach wants to be his guy. So it's a lot of good things going with that.
Yep. So good luck to obviously Jay Trav. Hopefully this won't set back your career in any way. You get a chance to still thrive. But huge shout out to Justin Fields for getting that payday. That $30 million guaranteed is always sweet.
Somebody's out there.
So,
he's at the front door.
James, Sam Darnold, former Vikings quarterback Sam Darnold reached an agreement today, which was aired on Monday after our show, but he agreed to a 3-year, $110.5 million contract, including 55 guaranteed with the Seahawks. Obviously, Geno is on the Raiders now with his former head coach, Pete Carroll, but 3 years, $110 million. What do you think about this contract, James?
A guy got paid that couldn't find. Remember you tell me who an elite wide receiver was? And I joked with him about how he couldn't score against the Jags because his quarterback was so trash.
Oh, Justin Jefferson?
This man had Justin Jefferson. They got rid of DK. Who the fuck? Who just...
Good thing you asked, James, because I had this infographic for you right here per NFL CBS. So these were Sam Darnold's offensive weapons this past season and this new season. You can see there's no comparison. There's no comparison.
I mean, my nigga gonna be good, or Ninja, whatever, however you say his last name. I don't even know.
Jackson Smith in Jigba.
See what I'm saying? You almost said it. That's a dangerous word for an announcer.
They just call him JSN.
I
JSN.
can't. I hope he's playing long enough. I hope he's playing long enough for Noah Kaniga to make the league. And then who's the other one, the tight end from the D2 school? I can't think of the name. It was something crazy. And then give me a white man with the last name Blackman. Like that would just be that'd be the coldest team in the history. But again, the Seahawks just don't give. I mean, the only thing that's going for him is in a worse division. He ain't got to see the Lions. He doesn't have to see the Packers. I mean, shit. You couldn't again. $30 million. 30 a year is what he's getting paid on average. If I remember that, what did you say? Or what was the numbers?
Let me pull it back up. 3-year, $110.5 million contract, $55 million guaranteed.
Yeah, $55 million guaranteed to a man who could not score a touchdown against the Jacksonville Jaguars. That played in a division with the Lions, who literally beat the Jags like they called their mama fat in kindergarten. Favor ain't fair. Yeah, listen, dog. Favor ain't fair. I ain't hating on him, man. Get your paper, daddy. But like, yo, you can't. But yet, Jameis Winston doesn't have a job. I mean, that's just the crazy. I don't understand. I don't know what's going on. Like, people are mad about, again, I know this isn't the same. People are mad about Bronny. I'm more mad about Sam Darnold getting this paper, getting bread like this. He's literally taking somebody's job. You know what a DEI? He is literally like they got rid of a better black man to bring in this mid-ass white man to pay him more. Everything that people are mad about what they think DEI is, there are white people benefiting from it every day. It's called capitalism. It's not called what is that way. But this, again, mine is more tongue-in-cheek joke because it doesn't affect me. But like, yo, you can't tell me that Geno Smith made a winner out of that. Geno made a better career out of Geno made a winner out of that. It got punished and sent to Las Vegas. If Geno, I'm gonna tell you like this. This is a hot take. If Geno Smith takes the Raiders to the playoffs, he deserves to be in Hall of Fame.
You mean if Shador takes them to the playoffs?
If they draft Shador, they're not going to the playoffs. I would be so happy for Shador, but they're not going to the playoffs. I hope he enjoys Vegas. Go. You don't think? Oh, where Deion Shador's going to get drafted by somebody whose coach is on the hot seat, so that Deion can take the job next year. Deion's doing one more year at Colorado to tell all of us, I told you I wasn't just leaving when my son left. So, yeah, fuck it.
To finish off our NFL segment, we got some Jaguars moves right here for you all, just to keep you guys updated with the free agency moves Duval has been making. So we're going to start out right here with this one. Jaguars are signing offensive tackle Chuma Edoga, the former Cowboys tackle, started 10 games in Dallas the past 2 seasons. You know, our trenches definitely need some help, and I'm glad that we got this signing. James, I know you said just briefly that you loved it. Yeah, do you feel like this was a good move for the Jags to get some more help for Trevor Lawrence in the trenches?
Yeah, we definitely need to address the line, and I could tell you who unequivocally ain't it is Walker Little. He needs to be a swing guy. I'm not saying he doesn't need to be on the Jags. But he just doesn't need to be the guy. Anton is going to be good, and the fact that we have him at right tackle, he played left tackle. He's played both, but he was a left tackle when he was in college more so than a right tackle. But that makes your edges a little bit better. I think we got a center coming in, or they've addressed the. I'm cautiously optimistic with what James is doing in the offseason. I think it could be I think it should turn out to be something very beneficial to us.
Speaking on the cautious optimism, you got 2 more free agent moves to discuss with the Jags. Next one, we got wide receiver De'Ami Brown agreed to a 1-year, $10 million deal with the Jags coming from the Commanders. James, what's your thoughts on this signing for the Jags?
Okay. 300. I think he had 300 yards receiving. Really came on a little bit more in the playoffs for the Commanders. I'm not just overly excited about it. Like, it's not something like Montreal said. Who? The only reason I kind of really paid attention to him more is because I was freezing my ass off in Philly at the NFC Championship game. So I noticed he was getting a lot of targets, and I'm like, why? Like, why the fuck is he getting all the targets? But maybe they saw something. I don't know, man. I think a guy who I like to follow a lot, Dilla, looks at him as a starter, but like it's not my not that I don't know about that one. I still think you need another receiver if unless we get Cup, but that's not my guy right now. I'm not liking our receiving room is BTJ, Gabe Davis, Parker Washington, for guys that you're going to actually need, and now the money, the however you say his name, Brown, De'Ami Brown. I'm not
Hopefully this is a diamond in the rough type of situation, but just to read off his stats, for the regular season, 30 receptions, 308 yards, 1 touchdown. In the playoffs, got 14 receptions with 18 targets and for 229 yards and 1 touchdown. Did receive 5 targets during that NFC Championship game you were at, James. And so, yeah, not too much on the production side. Only had 2 total touchdowns last year. Had what is that? 537 yards of total receiving last year. So, there's some things to be worked out. Hopefully, this is a diamond in the rough situation. They saw something good in De'Ami to get him this deal. But I think the most important deal the Jaguars had signed yesterday was cornerback Jordan Lewis from the Dallas Cowboys, 3-year, 30 M's. Now, James, talk about your opinion of this pick and what would you rate this signing for the Jags 1 through 10?
1 through 10. Shit. I mean, it ain't a 10, but I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna fucking destroy it because nobody thinks critically anymore. I'll go like a 6, and the reason why is I'm going to talk about my alumni for a second. I love Ronald Darby to death, but he was long in the tooth. And this is an upgrade over Ronald Darby. And the thing about the NFL, if people are being honest, there are very few 10s. If you have a 10, you should be a playoff team. But if you have more 7s, if you have more above 5 players, then you are a winning team. And I think the problem is everybody wants their team to be better than what they are. Hell, people want to believe Trevor's a 10, and he's just not right now. Trevor, statistically speaking, is Daniel Jones. I think he's better than Daniel Jones, but statistically speaking, that's Daniel Jones and him are on the same trajectory outside of him having the playoff wins. But I think I think Trevor has the ability to be an elite quarterback in the NFL. He just hasn't shown it yet, and that's okay. It's okay to admit that. We've been getting our ass. We've been sorry for a very, very long time here in Jacksonville. They're going to kill me. I already know. Just like people I don't know ball and I never played. You can tell I never played football before. So, I could tell I've never watched a Jag game. Like I could tell, like, I'm like, bitch, I'm in the fucking press. I'm on the news on Sunday nights. What the fuck are you talking about? But whatever, at the end of the day, I think it's a good move. I'm just on the Kevin Samuels grading chart. I don't believe all women are 10s. I think you're a 10. He's a 10 to somebody. His mom probably thinks he's a 10. But of the elites, he's not an elite slot corner. But he is an upgrade over Ronald Darby, which makes us better. And that hurts me because I like Ronald Darby.
That was a good explanation for it. Now we're going to transition into our big games BS segment. There's been a lot of turmoil, obviously, with airplanes, flights, plane crashes, and Southwest did not make it better. A lot of their customers took to the internet to share their opinion about Southwest ending its free check bag policies for many passengers for the first time in its 54-year history. So they released this statement. Updates to check bag policy. We will offer 2 free check bags to Rapid Rewards A-list preferred members and customers traveling on business select fares. We will also offer 1 free check bag to an A-list member and other select customers. In addition, Southwest will credit 1 check bag for Rapid Rewards credit card members. So what about if you're just a regular customer? All remaining customers will pay to check their first and second bags, and we will continue to charge for the third and fourth bags. So the changes will apply to flights booked on or after May 28th. So get y'all flights in before May 28th. And James, you said airlines raising costs and cutting perks. Maybe this will slow folks' travel down.
Which is the opposite of what you want to have a booming economy. But personally, it's too many of y'all in the goddamn airport. So it doesn't bother me. I fly American. I don't want soul plane when I'm flying. I want to be able to just get on my flight. I want to sit there. I like there being I like being I like classism at certain points. I want to see division. I want to be able to sit in my first class, and I want to be able to put the curtain back to you so that you people don't understand. But that being said, it's unfortunate. I mean, Spirit still has it. But Spirit, you don't pay. You pay for check back. But I'm saying Spirit's still cheap. Just pay the extra bread.
Have they had one of these accidents that's been happening? Like,
I know Spirit did have something caught on fire.
What about us?
But they haven't had like nothing just drop out of the sky.
Somebody was probably smoking a blunt in the back.
Probably. I thought with all the plane stuff, as much as I've been flying, I was worried about other things. And so like, I just like every time I'm about to get on a flight, I see a plane go down. I'm like, this isn't the best time to share this information with me as I'm about to take off. And now I'm terrified at landing now because I don't want to flip upside down. But
that was only because there was ice.
Yeah. But now I'm flying into New Orleans. There's supposed to be like some hurricanes and tornadoes or something coming through there. So that's not making me feel very good. But I do know this. Like, just pay the $50, man. Or do what Steve did. Ship your stuff there to wherever you're going. Or drive, which will help increase, which will help when gas prices go up, which will just, again, this is what they want from you guys. But I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what to tell you. I've always flown. First, it was Delta, and I've been flying American for 6 years. I am a brand loyalist. So until American does something that I really, really, truly don't like, I've never had one of those situations where they left me stranded in the airport for hours. I feel I empathize with people who that happens to. I always get the seats that I want, and I can always check 2 bags. So American also has a thing for military. You know what? I got the perfect way for you to be able to get all your bags checked for free. Join the military. Yeah. Or fly with somebody in the military. If they have their CAT card, everybody who's flying with them gets 2 check bags for all their baggage checked for free. Marry military, join the military, get a military friend. That's the cheat code. If not, don't. So just support our troops, and you ain't got nothing to worry about. I don't know if that's a Southwest thing or if it's just American, but I know American does that for a fact.
Speaking of loyalists, we got this clip that's been circulating. Stephen A is loyal to his own words, to his actions. So he recently was on the Gilbert Arenas podcast yesterday. And they had to ask him for his side of the story about the LeBron situation, where LeBron ran up on Stephen A in the middle of a game when the Knicks were playing the Lakers at the Crypto.com arena. And this is his point of view from what ensued during that day. And I'm excited to share this with you all and let us know.
Look at him dressed like Nino Brown.
Yeah.
He need you gonna give him a rock. You gonna get a.
That's why he's the GOAT, man. I'm telling you, he's still performing right now.
Really, just all performance. Let's see. He's about to say it's gonna his voice is gonna be in this level right now. It's not gonna be at the normal Stephen A. Smith. Let me see.
What do you make of LeBron confronting you in the aftermath of that situation?
I thought it was weak. I thought it was some bullshit. But in the moment, I knew that I was listening to a father. Here's what happened. I'm represented by William Morris Endeavor. The founder of William Morris Endeavor, Ari Emanuel, had courtside seats right next to the Lakers bench. He had Larry David with him, star of Curb Your Enthusiasm. I'm sitting with them. I get there in the first quarter. I'm sitting courtside, and I stand up, and then I got my head turned. And then I turned back around, and a lot of people thought this was the end of the game or something like that. This was in the third quarter.
I love it.
Apparently, LeBron had walked out of the timeout, and I turn around, and he's right here in my face. He said, yo, you got to stop talking shit about my son. You got to stop fucking with my son. That's my son. That's my son. And I was like, what? He said, nah, fuck that. I said, yo, let's talk later. He's like, fuck that. Nah, fuck that. You got to stop fucking with my son. And I said, all right, though. And he walked off. So I remember during a timeout in the first quarter, seeing Bronny. And Bronny looked over at me. And he had this sad look on his face. And I'm imagining Pop saw that shit. It hit him. And he couldn't hold it. And he rolled up on me. And so when I went on the air the next morning, first things first, believe it or not, I know this is shocking for people to believe, but I didn't have any intentions on talking about it until I woke up that morning and saw that the shit had gone viral. Once the shit had gone viral, the bosses at ESPN, now you got to talk about it. This is you and him. You got to talk about it. I said, fine. So I go on the air and I said, the first thing that I'm going to do is establish that this was a father talking to me, not a player. And that was what threw me off. And I was glad, even though I thought that he misrepresented the argument, I was glad he did. Because you see, what he was really talking about, which was confirmed with his conversation with Richard Jefferson, is that I was talking about him as a father. And so what happens is that had he said that to me, then I wouldn't have been thrown off. I'd have came right back at him. Yes, I was. I was talking about you. You did this shit, which I'll get to in a second. But because he didn't do that, I said, fine, you let it go. Mind you, I just agreed to my contract. Courtside. That day was when it was announced. It's all over, everywhere. Watch about it. Right? Yeah. It's a nationally televised game. The cameras are rolling. And I'm like, if I do anything, this is going to be a scene. Now, we can sit up here in front all we want to and act like we don't work for somebody. Damn it, I work for Walt Disney. And if I had gotten into some shit with him at courtside right there at that moment, no matter how right I would have been, it would have been wrong. And I was like, I'm not going to do this. But once I saw the tape of him talking to Richard Jefferson Saturday night in Boston, that was when I got really pissed because that was confirmation.
All right. Listen, one, kudos to Stephen A. Smith for being able to make news out of nothing. Number two, shout out to Gil for being able to catch this wave and probably going to get even more views for him. But it goes back to what Gil and the girl, I forgot her name. I think she's like the African girl that both go to ESPN and do stuff from time to time. I think she's beautiful. I love her lips and her hair. I'm Dr. Umar in that capacity. But
Chino.
yeah, Chino, they both said you could talk about other people, but you choose to talk about LeBron. And they brought up all of the other guys who were basically, they brought up the Boston Celtics having players. They brought up the Greek Freak. They brought up how Cleveland's doing well. They brought up about how OKC is doing well. But yet you still keep this man in your mouth, but yet you called him weak.
It's not real, though.
It's like the reality is what I would really wish, and this is kind of where I think I kind of respect Skip a little bit more. And if you notice that him and Skip are going to go back to doing stuff together again. Actually, which is the funniest shit in the world to me, because you hated Skip because of how Skip treated you, but you're going back for the business. So like really what you're saying, and I have no problem with it as a capitalist, what you're saying is you admitted this, Stephen A. Well, the people at ESPN forced you to talk about it because it's a headline. You still did not have to do it, but you, for the check, are willing to perpetuate a beef between another black father that you don't have to push. But because you know, as Gil called you on it, on ESPN, your network, and your bosses heard it, you know what gets clicks and what doesn't get clicks. And as a guy who is, and this further proves my point of why, like, Michael Jordan is the GOAT, the best of all time. LeBron is the GOAT because nobody has had this long of an impact on controlling the media narrative. Ever since he did the decision, that was the first time we ever saw for an entire week, every sports broadcast was about where's LeBron James going. Ever since then, he has literally controlled the media with whatever he does. In this. Now, while he says this, and then you even just said what he said to Richard Jefferson, he's right. I do have a problem with him being a father. Your problem with him being a father is putting his son in a situation that he has generational wealth. And the crazy part is, and this is where I was getting into it with my friends. And I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna read you some of these things. I'm not a basketball guy, right? I'm a father, but I'm not a basketball guy. So when I hear people but I am a logic, and I love to embrace intelligent debate. So he's taking away reps from, not taking away reps from play, excuse me. He shouldn't have been drafted where he was at. Anybody who poses this, who did he take away? Whose spot did he take away? It's not a real argument. What I'm saying is, but we can quantify this. What are the three people who were drafted after him? What are they doing with their careers? What are the people who were drafted in the second round currently? What are they doing with their careers? I actually saw guys on my Facebook page. He put up a great graphic about, I think it was it might have been he put up a great graphic about all of the people who are been and what they're doing in the G League. One's averaging 2.1 points. One's averaging 9 points a game. You know what Bronny James is averaging in the G League? 21.5 points a game. 7 assists, 7 rebounds. Do those sound like numbers of a guy who doesn't belong in the G League?
I think that's more the argument, though, that he should be spending more time in the G League instead of coming back for LeBron's whole games to play with him, and then he's missing his actual development time in the G League. Now that's an
organization. That's an organizational thing.
But
what I'm saying is, like, but the thing is that, okay, there's 15 guys. Like, you're saying not you, but Peter saying he's averaging 21 points per game. He's getting better. He's like the leading scorer on his team. He's making that team not better by coming up there, but the whole purpose of the G League is to develop you to get to the big league.
That's what I'm saying. He should spend more time in the G League instead of
so playing both. Like, he's had 18 games in the NBA. 18 fucking games in the NBA. I think they've won 40 at this point. They've lost more than that. So, like, he hasn't even played as much of the games as people think he's played.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get to that in a minute. Why? In that, he's actually averaging not that far off of what first round picks have been getting. So if he doesn't belong, what the fuck is he doing? But he averages 4. Oh, he's playing. I don't want him. I had a friend say he's playing meaningful minutes. He averages 4.2 minutes a game. Yeah. And the games that he's played the last 5, which have been overtime, is not 5 in a row, they were blowouts. Either on the right side or the loss that they had. They're 4-1 in his last 5 games that he's played. And it was a blowout. They were getting beat significantly. And he put up 9 points in that game. He was 3 for 4. Regardless, blowout. There's a guy who doesn't belong. I don't belong in the NBA. I can tell you what I'm not doing, going 3 for 4. And he did it in 8 minutes. When have we ever put this much focus on the 55th overall player? Never. And the crazy part is, while LeBron, you're only doing that because he is my son. You're not treating him like the 55th overall fucking player in the NBA, which is fair. If you want to analyze, because if you do treat him like the 55th overall player in the NBA, he has surpassed everything that you want to do for a $3 million a year contract guy.
I can tell you what Stephen A. argument is going to be. It's going to be the reason we don't treat him as a 55th player in the NBA is because of LeBron's hype, not only his name, but before Bronny got drafted, him saying, he's better than some players in the league and some of that type of stuff.
He is. But the stats say he is. He is better than other players in the G League based on 21 points per game. Did we argue about Brian Scalabrine with the Boston Celtics, who took somebody's job and did he make the Celtics better at anything? But I'm saying that's what LeBron's point is. You're not treating him like an NBA player. That's not criticism. You're criticizing him because of who I am, and you've been criticizing me since the beginning of my career. And that's the problem. You've made your money off of the back of me. I ain't finna let you do it to my son. And so there's that part. But then the other side of it is, the flip side of it is, I don't understand why, even if it is nepotism, so the fuck what? Where was your, matter of fact, this is how crazy Stephen A. Smith is. Does anybody know what Stephen A. Smith said about Luke Walton, who did not earn the job for the head coach of the Lakers? This is what he said. Luke Walton is Bill Walton's son, who helped his son get that job. He said, I hope LeBron doesn't get him fired. Now, this was years ago. He didn't have anything to say about nepotism at that point. The only reason you have not earned this position, you have not earned this job, you have nothing to say about that. What about the Greek Freaks brothers? Who are those two better than in the NBA? Is there not better players than Giannis's brothers?
No, that's for sure.
But what I'm saying is, so to say that is this. LeBron is so good. That he made Jeannie Buss. Does anybody know who Jeannie Buss is? Not just the owner of the Lakers. NBA royalty. Her dad created Showtime. All of those things. NBA royalty. Jeannie Buss, GM, the head coach, other people, and because he threatened to say, I want to play with my son. That means other owners were so enthralled with a 40-year-old. A 40-year-old has that much control over your league?
Yes.
But what does that mean? Because there was a 40-year-old at one time who had one son that played for UCF that was just as bad as Bronny. And that's supposed to be the greatest of all time.
And then you just proven Stephen A.'s argument about how this is a selfish thing.
If it's selfish, just don't do it. I know this. LeBron is on his way out. This isn't prime Bron.
He still is the face of the league problem. He's
the face of the league because of why?
It's chicken or the egg, right?
That's what I'm saying. So the thing is you're mad for something that you created.
That's why I think neither of them should be mad because, Stephen A's acting. LeBron's mad. I get it a little bit, but also he's also a production company himself. he is going to
protect
benefit
his
from this
interests.
too.
He protects his interests, but it's people paying him like it's not selfish. It's literally what you're supposed to do as a dad.
Yeah.
You know what? Here's where I would do if I was LeBron. Cool, attack me. Steven, don't get mad at me because I'm so good at my job that my kids can benefit and your daughters can't. See, the problem with media is when you point that finger right back to them, oh, I'm just the media. Why are you doing this to me? No, you're not. It's what I said about what I want to do with the 247s and everything else that judge players that ain't never paid. I'm going to go to your son's pickup football game and write about how sorry little Johnny is. You would not care for that too much. And you would say the only reason I'm talking about him is exactly. You're not good. And that's really when it comes down to the argument. Why are we so, like, again, he's not, the NBA is a star-driven league. Is Bronny the star of the team? No. Who are the stars? Bron James Sr., Luke, whoever the fucking, new, can't think of his name. Luka Dunk, whatever. The old unathletic white guy that's good, that can hoop. Two to three stars, and everybody else is a what? A role player. Everybody, the two remaining people on the court and the people on the bench are role players. Who is the Laker that you would like to see average 4.2 more minutes a game?
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, the argument is there was going to be somebody else there that stunk. But I tell you this, but there isn't. But here's the real thing. And I'll blame Bus more on this than anything else. We talked about, remember the first week sales of Bronny's jersey? Was it
50 million?
50. All right. In pro sport, for those who don't know, pro sports is marketing. The best basketball players do not play in the NBA. The best football players do not play in the NFL. That does not mean that those guys aren't good. It just means that there is somebody on a park bench right now that's a crackhead that was better than some of the people that you know. A myriad of factors goes into everybody playing pro sports, a myriad of them. Marketability being one of them. You find me a 55th overall pick that's selling 50 million in fucking jersey sales and only gets paid $3 million.
That's my thing. If he's acting, then he knows that. And the only one really playing the game is Stephen A. I take a little bit of, not offense, but I hear people saying, you decide what makes the news popular. Like, no, we, the audience, decide, and he hawks on it, you know?
But if he continues to dwell on it, it will, because they have a battery behind them. If they, one of my favorite, oh shit, I can't think of his name right now. Damn it. It'll come to me. Good music. Or anyway, he had the thing on bars on I-95. A new nigga flopping, a new nigga chopping, charting, it says an old nigga cancel. He came in and said this. All these, every day there's somebody new. The only person who's been hot for this long is LeBron. And Stephen A during that time has been up, down, and back up again.
Fair. Because he got fired and all.
Because he got fired when he
was off air from 2009 to 2012, 2011. He was off air.
Yeah, and just saying, but he got fired from ESPN too. I thought when I was in college because he had his first show was he had Allen Iverson on, if I remember correct, because he was with the Philadelphia newspaper then. But he's good. He's dope. I understand what he is. I just don't like when like right now, you know why I don't cry in my comments about what I said about Trevor Lawrence or any of those things? Because it was a pointed criticism.
Right.
And you know what happens with criticisms? I have earned the right because I put it out there for my criticism to be criticized.
Right.
And that's where my issue comes in. Stephen A. Smith is acting like, don't throw a rock and then hide your hand. You know what you said and you know what you're doing. And you know why you got criticized. And what was weak is your excuse of, I just got paid $20 million. No millions of dollars. There is no world in which you will fight LeBron James.
I don't think, even though he was specific about not saying to let the mind imagine he's thinking about fighting, but we all know he was talking about, that's why I didn't say anything back.
Yeah, like you can say whatever you want to say back. In that situation, it's just like when my friends with guns said, this is why I got to be holding, because a guy got hit with a with a Glock with the switch. There is no situation in life. If a person has the drop on you, you're gone.
Right.
Glock with a switch, pea shooter, whatever. If they're on top of you and you ain't already drawn, you're dead, brother. Unless he got bad aim. There was, even if Stephen A. Smith was that bad of a man? If you say how it happened, you're looking this way, and then all of a sudden you got a crotch in your face, bro, you are done. And that man is a world-class athlete. If he wanted to pick you up and dribble you and dunk you, you were getting dunked. But the fact is, you said what you said because deep down inside, you knew you was dead the fuck wrong. But then you started chewing on it, and you remembered, I got a platform. And you did what makes you what makes you a great. You capitalize off this platform. Because I've told people this all the time. You don't want to get into me because I'm going to make you content. And this is what he did. And kudos to him. But it's okay to say somebody's. That's where I have more respect for Draymond. I didn't know that. But the Draymond Green show and Baron Davis show still go on. We understand that, dog. But the reality is, man, stop just just chill out, man. just chill out with the tough talk, and you're gonna still. I'd rather you say I talked about and did. Isn't that what women do? Yeah. You talked about my son and did, and it would have been like and still will, because you are. But whatever, man. Fuck it. I gotta.
So we have to send our condolences. Speaking of a billionaire, we're gonna talk about another billionaire who suddenly passed away. So ex-NBA player, billionaire entrepreneur Junior Bridgman dies. So a lot of people are not familiar with Junior Bridgman, and we're going to get into these stories. So Bridgman was 71, and he was a former sixth man who rose from the most modest means to forge one of the most successful post-playing business careers of any athlete. He was a billionaire philanthropist and recently a minority owner of the Milwaukee Bucks, a team for which he once played. So you can see that picture right here. Bridgman played 12 seasons in the NBA, 10 of them with the Bucks and 2 with the LA Clippers. And he averaged 13.6 points, 3.5 rebounds, and 2.4 assists per game. This is the key. Famously, Bridgman made about $2.95 million in his NBA career, never more than $350,000 a season. But after his career, he built a fast food empire that at its peak totaled more than 450 restaurants nationwide. He became a Coca-Cola bottling distributor with territory across 3 states and into Canada. And he bought Ebony and Jet magazines. He invested in NBA Africa. In this past September, Bridgman purchased a 10% stake in the Bucks. And in February, Forbes reported that Bridgman's net worth had surpassed $1.4 billion. He was one of the top earning athletes in this lifetime, obviously being with the names of Jordan, Magic Johnson, and I think he was second on the list right behind Jordan, if I'm not mistaken. They might have to check me if I'm wrong, but just someone who Shaq modeled his business acumen after. Always tried to get his knowledge, trying to get his game, but like we previously mentioned, made only still a lot of money. Made less than $3 million in his NBA career. Then he flipped that to $1.4 billion. So we're going to send some condolences to his family. Let me make sure I had the names right here. So we're going to express our condolences to his wife, Doris, and their children, Eden, Justin, and Ryan. But NBA lost a legend with Junior Bridgman's passing, and man, sucks to see. But what a great guy! What a great guy!
I would like to see a story of something like tragic. Even if he has some tragedy, this is kind of cool. But this will show people like the in between, like this show the athletes that were actually just okay and made themselves elite. So kudos to that. Sorry, man, sad for his passing, but shoot, but outside of that, man, this we got anything else? Don't want to put that one on there because then I have to take it off. It's gonna demonetize us.
Oh, the NBA. Oh, okay. Yeah, we had that Anthony Mackie one.
We'll save that for Friday. What's the other one? Oh, let's end this. This is important. I like this one right here, man. I got to end it on a good note because black people acting right. Like this is just, I let the song play for itself. Like not the song, but I let the story is just good enough by itself, man. But this is one of the people who have passion for what they're doing and did things the right way. And I think we need more people like this. And this proves that what I always say is that no matter what happens in the economy, no matter what happens with America, I say black people, but certain communities will always be okay because this will happen. So a lot of y'all are very selfish in your capitalism, and you're gonna be on your own. It's gonna feel like it's rough. But this is what happened before with the Freedom Doctors, with Black Panther food programs, with all kinds of different things. And this guy is one of those glowing, shining examples of it.
It is easy. Forget that dollar bill. Now, I don't see you no matter what. You walk in that door, you will be seeing you bring your grandma with you. I don't see her too.
Okay. But here's what amazed us even more. In the nearly 40 years Dr. Z has been practicing,
That was good.
he's never taken a real vacation.
I think you'll live.
Tells every patient they can call him 24/7, 365.
There you go.
I have his cell phone number.
Does everybody have his cell phone?
He's always available.
This guy seems almost unbelievable.
He is unbelievable because you'll never meet another person like him ever.
A superhero, but hardly invincible. A few months ago, Dr. Z was diagnosed with cancer.
So I got 2 separate cancers. One renal, one rectal. But I don't give up.
And to add insult to injury, Dr. Z didn't have insurance. There was a whole series of snafus, but bottom line is he had no way to pay for his radiation treatments. Until his patients turned the tables on that ever-giving doctor.
I'm like, let's fight. What can we do?
Dr. Z will not give up on you, so we damn sure ain't giving up on her.
Whatever needs to be done to save Dr. Z, we're going to do it collectively.
So, collectively, they started a crowdfunding campaign. Nearly 1,000 people donated, raising more than $100,000. Today, his prognosis is good.
Right?
He got his insurance back and now plans to funnel any money left over back into the community.
Over that mouth. You know what? I'm going to say something that seems crazy as heck. I'm thankful that I got cancer. Because I am the happiest man on the planet, no matter what the outcome. What we have shown and why we sitting in this table right now to show America this is what you're about. We about giving.